Good evening, lords and ladies. I'm Night Before Dawn, and welcome back to Sons of the Forest. Today I would like to go over something that was actually discovered by RIPDEISEL. I've done some tweaking and played with it a bit and come up with slightly different results. He got things down to 6 logs in a quarter of a circle. Well, I guess if it's 6, that would be a 24-sided shape. I'm not sure what a 24-sided shape is, but I was able to get mine to have 8 logs, which is a icosahedron. Or no, not hedron, that's the 3D one. The 2D one is the icosahedron, which has 32 sides. And his had 24 sides. But I'm still technically using his method with a few minor tweaks. So I will link to his video so that you can see what his methods are. But first I will just get started, and I will build another one right here. Okay, so I've got this frame set up, nothing special about it. I need a 1/4 log. Might as well grab both just to keep the mess to a minimum. And then 1, 2, and you need to go at least 2 high if you're starting right on the ground with this. If you're starting up a little bit more, it doesn't really matter. But you need to be at least high enough that you can place a half log as your support under here, because if you're placing a 1/4 log as your support, it will not quite work, because you can't do this if this part auto-fills the supports underneath. So, and anyways, to do this, you just take that. I'm a little bit close to this, so I'll just rip some of this out. This doesn't need to be here. This was just for me playing around, coming up with ideas for my survival build, so that it's irrelevant. I hardly have time to play survival now anyways. That should be enough room. Okay. So what's going to end up happening is right here I'm going to have my center post. And as you can see, I get a red arrow when I try and place this here. That's because this log is already in place. If I take that out, I can place that, and then I can do this. Alright, now I need a half log again, so I should have one kicking around. Perfect. Then I just pick this up. Because this log is here, this will want to snap to an end. This end is technically not valid because of the fact that it is on a slight slope. So if I pick this up, it will actually snap over to that spot. And it'll always snap to the cornered side. If I have it on both, I'm not sure which side it'll snap to, but it will always snap to the connected corner. And then, once that's done, I just pick up this, place this, and place this. Sometimes it's easier if you crouch when you're doing it with the half logs. As you can see though, this is actually free. It's not stuck to the grid that is on. I can place any angle off of it, and that's only one post. But if I repeat the process and do the same thing again, the same thing will happen. Now there's 2 posts right there. As you can see, I can wiggle one, and there's another one that's not wiggling. So now I have 2 posts in that same spot. And just so I'm not getting an overabundance of these, I'm going to try and pick up my full logs before I do this each time. I crouch down to place that one. Grab that, lift this, and that's 3. So however many sides you want your shape to have, you need 1/4 that number of posts. So if you want a 64-sided shape, you would need 16 posts in this spot. I just lost count because I distracted myself. I don't know how many I've got. I think I was on 4. But because I'm not sure, I'm going to say I was on 3. Just to be safe. I can easily fix it if there's too many. So there's 4. Come on, give me the arrow. There we go. 6. 7. And the number I want to go with right now is 8. RIPDEISEL's method showed him doing it with, or to get, what was it? I think he did 6 on his, but I'm doing 8. Okay, and this, it's a little bit too close, so I'm going to move it a bit farther away. This way that grid is always available if I need it for anything. I shouldn't, especially at this point. Let's just pick up all my extra stuff. Toss those in there. Toss that there. Okay, that should be good for now. Full logs is what I need at the moment. I'll be needing half logs soon, so I'll just push you out of the way. Okay, so this, it kind of looks funny right now, but if I do this... Okay, now I've started a grid. But, to be honest, that's not what I want. What I want, before anything else, is I want to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, 6, 7, 8. See, I was right. I'm glad I chose 3 when I did instead of 4. Okay, so this officially has 8 1/4 logs in it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna snap to that, and then the reason I chose 8 is because it's really nice using numbers that add up nice and evenly, and 8 is just one of those numbers that is really easy to add to. Now I hate the swaying your character does. Like right now I'm not moving my mouse, and as you can see the arrow in the bottom of the screen is doing quite a bit of moving. That's because your character sways. It's irritating, but it can be worked with. As you can see, I snapped that out like that. I'm actually just going to quickly put this out like this. It don't matter too much. Now with that out, I have a nice square angle to look at. And I can try and make a 45 with the arrows there, and I can look out at that if I want to as well. I have lots of references for what a 45 is, and right there seems pretty close. And if I step back here, I'm a little bit off to the right. But it's so much easier to line yourself up with this method than it was with my old method. I'm glad RIPDEISEL found this. And I'm still a little bit off to the right. So I need to right about there. Looks good. That's beautiful. Aimed right at it, and then I can come over here and I can... It's not quite as easy to see. Let's just do that and that. Do this and then this and this and bring it out that extra distance. Oh yeah, I'm perfect right there. That is about as close to an exact 45 as you can get. I'm not quite exact, I'm a little bit off to one side, but such a small amount that it's not going to matter. And then off of here, I can just snap out to a side and out to the other side. And then if I stand right here, as you can see, I've got another arrow in there that I can do, and I try and aim it at that. But I don't want to do both at the same time. I actually want that to slope down so that the angle, or so that the logs cross. And then I can aim like this. Get the arrow. I want to aim so that it's aimed at the center of that. And if I stand over here, I can do this. That looks nice and close. Let's get rid of this for a second. There's that. And if I cross that there... No, not like that. Come on, pick it up. That there, and then place... Oh, it was there for a second. Okay. That one. I'm kind of glitched into things, but I should be able to get out. There we go. Nice. That looks pretty darn close. It's not perfect again, but if you're patient enough, you can make it perfect. If not, oh well, you don't have to be. So now that is a perfect, or almost a perfect 22.5. It is really close to a perfect 22.5. So I'm going to, because I don't want that to move, I'm going to anchor it, because I'm actually going to be getting rid of this and that, and I'm going to be placing that in there. And then it's exactly the same process here. I try and get my arrow so that it's aimed out at that cross point. That looks pretty good. And I step out here, and then I'll step out one more, get rid of this, bring that in and in, bring this in and in, and yeah, that one looks better than the other one did. That's almost a perfect 22.5. Okay. So, now I have this all set up, but I can't quite get the ones in between. That's rather difficult to do. The way RIPDEISEL did it is he snapped his drop points out by standing out here and getting the post to be able to drop while things were still up above. But I can't quite do that because, oh, he had them snap like that. Because you get the right spot and you can just... Okay, let's get the right thing. There we go. You can often get it so that you can manually move it. But because I have these other snap points already, it's not going to let me do it the easy way. But if I come out this way, I can take all the ones I've done so far, just snap them out, and because they're not up like the other ones were, I can just continue snapping. This is going to be a nice even setup. This is more consistent than the method I was using before. But now that's done, I can just come over here and find the spot. The arrow will usually appear. Sometimes I have to come and stand over here and look down and get it to appear. But you just keep playing with it. And now sometimes it won't work because a lot of times, I don't know, these are the ones that are snapping. Okay, but I'm going to remove all these and restart this because I want to play with it and get it right. I want the one that's in line with center, 22.5, 22.5, 45 and 45. Ooh, that one doesn't feel right. Oh no, that one's right. That's just because I wasn't quite perfect with my lines. Okay, now to get that cross point, sometimes you can do it, or once you've got the first one here, it's a little bit challenging, but you can squeeze an arrow here. Oh, there, as you can see, the arrow is appearing at the bottom of the screen. The swaying here is really difficult, and oftentimes you can't get more of the arrow into your view, so it's really a challenge to do this consistently. And that? Nope, that's not quite what I want. Oh, and I wish it was easier to aim this, but once you've got that arrow, come on. Where are you, arrow? But while they're sloped like this, you can get the arrow to appear, oh right, I forgot, standing up. I'm so used to crouching for that, but if you stand up at this point and come out here, then you can aim your arrow quite finely. You've got quite a bit of control of how you aim your arrow. So it's a little difficult to do, but there we go. That's a good angle. And then there's also that, and you should be able to just fill in all of the gaps from that point. Sometimes it doesn't want to let you, but if you just place the log there and there, you should be able to get it from that. Oh, come on. Like I say, sometimes it's tedious. But as you can see, I'm getting more and more filled in there. And once you've got the snap points there, see, there we go, now it's giving me the arrow again because I'd gotten rid of the other snap points that were interfering. That one's not quite where I wanted it. So then right there, that's beautiful. Then that one right about there, that looks pretty darn good. I should be able to just snap the rest of this in because there are no other snap points other than the ones that I've already done. And now if I take these and remove all of this, including these ones that are sticking up like this, because I want them all to be sloped, but I had to make sure everything was anchored first, I should just be able to fill the rest of this in without any issues. Oh, come on, there we go. And the order doesn't particularly matter. And there we go. This is it has 32 logs going down out or from it. See if I go 1, 2, come on, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32. And the ends of these logs are all spaced out almost perfectly so that there is no gap. There is just slightly a gap between some of them. It is a very nice angle to use, and you can just play with this all you want. In fact, you don't need any of these. I'm just going to show you. It will stay up. I don't know why it does that, because that's not the way the game normally works, but they don't drop. You can make a nice little flat platform, and everything seems to go very well. And building on top of this is just like building on everything else. If you want to do some fancy, or if you want to have planks on certain parts and things, it can get a little bit more tedious because you come out and do certain things, and it just, some of it is rather awkward to work with, but it is such a gorgeous centerpiece. This isn't as nice as it could be. If you watched RIPDEISEL's video, you'll notice that he has a much prettier design, and actually I'll show you exactly what causes that. Here I'll make the same thing. In fact, I'm just going to do this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I shouldn't be able to put any more in there. Perfect. Okay, and then I'm just going to fill in all the way around except for 2 spots because I want enough room for me to get out. Which means mine won't quite be perfect. Actually, I know a way that I can make it perfect. It's probably actually a really good idea. I'm gonna leave or do every third for now. This will give me a similar result, but it won't be quite as compact as RIPDEISEL's was. Oh, yeah, 32 doesn't divide into 3 easily. So it'll be... So let's do this, like that, there, that, there, that, there, that, there, and that. I can't quite get out, but... And if you'll notice, there are no arrows pointing in, and some of them are, but most of the arrows don't point in, and oftentimes you'll find that they are red. But the center post will almost always have white arrows. I have never seen red arrows on the center post yet. And there we go. All of those are connected, and I could remove these now, but I'm not going to. I want to show you how to make that fancy pattern that RIPDEISEL had in his. He did his in the middle. I don't like the idea of doing it in the middle. You can do it in the middle, but you don't always, it's harder to visually see if you've got all of them, especially if you have all of the posts in. But if you do it on the outside, you can easily tell if there are any posts missing their struts. But if you notice, when I place this in, watch the log that's on top here. It looks like it kind of jumps a little bit. Well, what that does is you'll notice, oh, I need a full log. There we go. Alright. But you'll notice that with that rotation or jump that it does, it puts them all so that they have the same orientation, effectively. And that gives you a very consistent pattern on the top and bottom of your logs. So I'll just show you in just a moment here. There we go. And now I can easily remove these. And the top, remember, above me there are struts holding things up, and below me there are not. So down below it looks okay. Up looks gorgeous. And that's only with what is that, 16 logs coming into the center. That is gorgeous. And if you've got, oh, I'm just gonna take these. There we go. And once you've got this in place, you can actually remove all these struts. Be careful, don't look up when you're doing it. Look kind of at the post where it meets up with the strut, because if you're looking up and you accidentally take the beam off, you'll have to replace it and replace the strut. Not that that's a big deal, but there we have it, and it still has its fancy design. So yeah, it's not really, like, it is possible, but it's very, very difficult to find the right angle. I have seen it once or twice where I can place a strut underneath this, but the positioning is like sub-pixel positioning. It is so hard to get the right spot that it's not even worth trying. But to get out of here, I'm just going to do that. Whoops. And there we have it. You can build literally anything you want off of this. This is a gorgeous way to consistently get your angles. Like, I was kind of rushing through it for the sake of the video, but you can get your angles almost perfect every single time if you just have a little bit of patience. So let's see, can I do this from out here? If I place that there, just a quick look. See, I want to fix that. It was that one, right? No, it was this one. Then, yeah, that was right. Nice. That should look right from on top. So let's no, that wasn't the one I wanted. This was the one I wanted. There we go. Yeah, it looks great up here. Oh, I love that pattern. That's cooler than the underside. So yeah, if you like what you've seen and you'd like to see more, I would greatly appreciate a like, comment, and subscribe. And I would love to see what you guys can come up with this. It is outstanding. I'm so glad RIPDEISEL played with it the way he did and found that stacking center post design, because it's so powerful. You can do so much with it. And yeah, have a good one.